Yes, the most proud thing about myself is that I'm a mother of 3 young men, and I love them, the son and back. I am married. I am a counseling psychologist and a productivity coach, as well as a trainer. I work with young people in their journey towards whatever it is that they want to be. And I am the founder of a program called Better Best Me, becoming better versions of ourselves a step at a time. That is Josephine. I think success for me is like a feeling of you've arrived, and therefore I don't believe the word success really is it, because life is a journey. We keep improving on what it is that we do. I'm yet to come across somebody who says, I've had it all, I'm done, I'm finished, done and dusted. Yeah? So for me, it's a journey. It is, what is it that we can incrementally do that we become or to achieve that which we have set out to do. And for me, that is what success is. The fact that you can overcome a milestone and then go to the next one and then the next one, for me, that is what success is. And being able to every day wake up, do something, and in the evening I can say, I have learned this much, for me that is success. But an area that I'm very proud of, and again I will allude to that, is my area of motherhood, right? That walking a journey, seeing young kids grow up, go out on their own, venture into the world, but I can't really attribute to myself. God first. God guides us in everything that we do, in every milestone that we cross. Yeah? So even in terms of work, in terms of career, whatever it is that I've been able to do is incremental, and it continues until the last breath. One of the most fundamental ones is that there will be a tomorrow, and tomorrow will be better than today. Regardless of what the situation is, there will be a better tomorrow. And even when the situation is not a bad situation, it's a good situation, there is still that belief that I could improve on this tomorrow. When the situation is not a good one, there is the belief that this will come to an end someday, sometime. And that is backed also by belief that God is walking the journey with me in both good times and bad times. One, I would like the young ones to know is that crises are part of life. There's no life without a crisis. And young people tend to believe that there's this perfect life out there, there will be no challenges, so crises are part of life, right? And therefore then, when you get into a crisis, what do? I love looking at it as a challenge. What is a challenge? For me, a challenge is a stepping stone to the next level. And think about it. Look about guys who climb mountains, think of guys who do a marathon, whatever. They are challenging something. We had Kipchoge the other day, he's challenging time, right? We have guys who want to go higher up and summit. What are they doing? They are challenging themselves to get there. And therefore, young people need to understand crises will come. what is the best approach to them? One, accept that I'm in a situation. Two, seek help. And please, depending on what the crisis is, find out who to seek help from. It's not everybody that you go seeking help from. If you need a mentor, if you have a mentor, discuss it with your mentor. If you need it's a coaching issue, go and get coached. If it's a counseling issue, go and seek counseling. If you need to settle issues, maybe even within your family, be bold enough to own up and go and sort out whatever the crisis is. In colleges, we have many things that are happening. And young people need to realize that those college situations have always been there. So it's about who you are, who you have become, and who you have purposed to be. And by the time really you get to college, you are 18 and above, you're an adult, so you actually know what is the right thing to do and what is the wrong thing to do, and therefore get your north. What are your values? What are your principles? There are things I will not do. There are things I will not engage in because my true north is this, and I can only get there if I follow a certain path, right? Crises also come with a lot of comparison. We want to be like so and so. We don't know their background. We don't know where they come from. Even if we know, we don't really have the deep story, and therefore we cannot be like those other people. That is a very big crisis for young people. Young people, accept your uniqueness, accept that you're different in all areas of life. Socially, economically, mentally, physically, the way we look, we're going to be different. And please just love the unique you. Failure, what is that? We need to understand what is to fail. Yeah? Fail is when you don't achieve something in the way maybe you expected to achieve it. So instead of focusing on that item that you didn't achieve, it would be important to go back and say, how come I didn't achieve? Because if you work on the how come, yeah, then you are likely to rise and do something better even in the future instead of focusing on failure. I can share something and say maybe when I was growing up, and maybe it was the environment that we lived in, let me talk about myself, you know, there was so much expected of me, and maybe I also expected too much of myself, and then maybe expected to prove too much of myself, and that derailed some things that I wanted to do and achieve. Because at one point, now later in life, I realized I wasn't doing those things for me. I was doing them for somebody else. So the young people, remember, just do you. Just do you. Just be you. Discover who you are. Discover what you want. And you people are living in a very blessed time. Let me say that. There's so many opportunities. The society has opened up. You can do many things. When I grew up, young men could not work in salons. It's not even young men, even us as ladies, it was not seen like something you would do and it gets you a living. It was not accepted, you know. So you guys have opportunities, many thousands. And depending on you, and when you're doing you, you can even combine 5 of them to get to the next level. Do we ever finish studying? Yeah, that's the other thing that young people need to know. Studying does not come to an end. Studying just opens up your mind and opens up an opportunities, and it also gives you a structure, you know, on how you can structure in your life. And I would want to think about buildings, yeah, you know, like this building now. It has its basic structure from the foundation, but if we really want this building to look green tomorrow, we can make it green. Yeah. If we want it to look black, you can change it to black. So for me, school, college has given you that structure, that foundation. Now it's up to you to get your beauty, yeah, and beautify the world with the things that you are passionate about around that structure. Right? So you find that even for purposes of purpose, we've talked about purpose very many times. Purpose will only be beautiful when it is accompanied by passion. And we know so many young people, not even young, even people our age who went to school and college, and they did their medical degrees, they did their law degrees, and they said, you know what, we pack this one, I'm now out to do that thing that makes me happy. And the story changed and became different. And they're happy with themselves, and they are making the world beautiful. Okay, at my age now, I wouldn't call it a fear, I would call it a concern. And I believe that's all it has been even before. We tend to be concerned about the future and therefore enter into some deep that we call fear. People have come with different acronyms around the same, all right? False expressions appearing real, all those ones. Yes, and therefore young people, you're going to have concerns about your life going forward, even as we still have, and even our parents who are still there still have their concerns. So the concern is never going to go. So how do we then face? The best thing is prepare as much as possible for that future you are concerned about. And that's why you're in school. Go to school and do school when you are meant to do school. When you're meant to do something else, do it. But because you have a focus as to what you're doing, then you'll be addressing the concerns around your focus. All right? What are your goals? What are you working at? What would you like to be? What will success look like for you? Even though, like I said before, success is not, there's no full stop to say that I'm done and I'm done. Yeah, so it's being able to just project your own concerns for the future and work towards those concerns. I say this, and because my basic background is teaching, I keep saying the grade that has the widest mark is an A. Most of the time, so it will be 80 to 100. The others will be 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. How come? That means when I'm at 80 and you're at 100, we are the same. We both have A's. All right? So we are being told then that perfection is not here. The range is so wide, and you're at 95, you're still perfect. You're at 81, you're still perfect. And therefore, let us always remember, perfection is something we aim at. We do not get to perfection. We are yet to know a perfect person. So it's a journey towards a better, best you every day, every moment. And personally, I call it towards a better, best me, one step at a time, right? So if you've decided you'll be doing 10,000 steps a day, the minute you do one step, you're already at 9,000 and something. So you're already walking in that direction. Oh yes, very, very grateful. The fact that we woke up today, another new day, we're grateful for that day. The fact that we are here doing this, we weren't here half an hour ago, grateful for the opportunity. Grateful that you got that mark, that you got this time, even though you are looking forward to getting better next time. Grateful for your health, the fact that you're healthy and you're even able to, mentally think about what it is that you need to do. Already you need to be grateful there. There are so many people who are not at that position. Grateful that you've had a meal today and therefore you are sure tomorrow you'll not be malnourished. Yeah. So every step we need to be very, very good. Every breath. Please remember what COVID taught us. Breathing is not automatic. This oxygen we are breathing here in this beautiful environment is not automatic. The oxygen could be here flowing and I can't take that breath. So grateful for every step. Being a mother, cooking is one, being in the kitchen, being at home, taking time with my children now, they are grown up, so we can go and do a few activities. That is the best. Working at doing different things now, working at hiking a bit. I want to venture in the golf world. Yes. Atomic Habits by James Clear is one of them. The other one is it's called Where I Am 25 Principles of Success. Let me call it that way. I know it has another big title by Jack Canfield. Those two. And many others. Watching children grow. You know, you hold this helpless thing in your hands. You're not even sure you're communicating. And then around that time, you actually realize you can communicate somehow. You can tell when they are unwell, you can tell when they are hungry. And then eventually they can smile at you. That means you have a connection. And then they grow. They go about their own things. They know you are mommy and they hug you and they love you. You know, for me, that emotional connection. And also just seeing them now blossom, you know, go to school, finish school, go out there, get a job, and somebody has a title at an office and you're answering, is it the same person? So, and also being grateful because, again, it's not obvious. It's not obvious that you become a mother, neither is it obvious that your children will walk in a path that you expected. Yeah. But what is not a lot of work? What is not a lot of work? Even the work we do in the office is a lot of work. Even school is a lot of work. So for anything to really be good and great, work needs to be put in, right? And expensive. What do we mean by expensive? You know, all these things are relative. Huh? All these things are very relative. And it also depends, you know, everything is in our minds. When we put it that something is difficult, imagine it will. If you enjoy it, I'll go again to the guys who hike, the guys who do marathons. Why do they go over and over and over again? They get torn tendons, but they still go back. It's not cheap. It's actually painful. Sometimes when they hurt themselves, it's so painful. So why are you going back? Because you enjoy it. So, young mothers, enjoy motherhood. And because God created us differently, and therefore He gave us mothers the chance, I keep saying, to co-create with Him and bring children to the world. Every time you walk around campus and you are 6,000 of you, remember everybody was brought to this world by a mother. The father played his part, but the person who actually brought that person into the world is the mother, including yourself. Young people, you're unique. You are wonderfully created. You came into this world for a purpose. Please beautify this world with your purpose. Set self-impact yourself and impact the rest of the world with that which God has given you in terms of life, breath, talents, and giftings.